So I made it an habit every time. I told him my password. I knew my password from the start. I'm like, anytime you feel you want to use my phone, don't even ask. You use it. Anytime anyone can call, maybe I've gone outside, feel free. I expected him to tell me the same thing. He didn't tell me the same thing. So I'm like, okay, if you feel like using my phone, you just use it. Me, I'm not going to hide it. This time, he comes home. Coming home, this day I was off from work. I was off on a Wednesday. So during the day, this time, actually, he was doing nothing. At the point, he didn't have work. And the money I gave him to open a business, he hate it all. Why? Imagine it's very serious.
So you guys wanted to like start a business?
Yeah. When we got married, we wanted to start a business because he could stay at home. Where he used to work, that is his church, where he was employed, he was being paid, he was chased away. So when he was chased away, he didn't have like a daily job to do. The only thing he was depending on, it's being called for missions, to minister here and there. And during the day, he's at home. Nothing is happening. So I'm like, what about to do something? Instead of staying at home the whole time waiting for the mission, do something. Because he could find when I'm working, when I could find, I could go to work at the end of the month, I'm the one paying the bills. So the first month, I paid the bill. Second month, I wasn't okay with it. So I asked him, what if you do something? What can you do? He's like, oh, I used to do this before we got married, but I stopped it. I would love to do the same business and everything. I'm like, okay, how much could it cost? He told me the amount. Like, oh, that's a good idea. So yeah, I gave him the let's say half of the amount to go and cater for some things and here there. Man, guess what happened? This guy, after like 3 weeks, I'm asking him about the business. Like, oh, baby, it's coming up well. It's coming up well. Again, I ask a month. It's over. I'm like, have you not started? It's coming up well. So there is some place, he ordered some things with that money. So I'm like, what's happening? He told me, oh, the guy is telling me to wait. He's not yet, he hasn't yet finished producing those stuffs and everything. So after 2 months, I'm like, come on. I'm done paying the bills. Like, you're comfortable me taking care of the bills. Manu, let me tell you something. This guy could go for mission. Even if it's 3 days, he could come with 20-something thousand. Another time he came with 28,000. But all he could do is buy a bread and 2 milk. That was all for him. Seriously, that was all for him.
So you guys, first of all, you guys, do you ever talk about money?
Yes, we did.
What do you do with your money?
Yeah.
How am I going to cover the bills? Yes, you have this money.
Yes, we did.
So how was this thing? Because if he comes back with money, then and you guys are going to sit down and decide this is what you're going to do with money. Yeah. How was that conversation going?
Okay, this conversation started when I told you when I got in marriage, I didn't have a job. Then after a month, I went for some interview, got the job. So the first salary, man, I'm that type of a person. Bring what you have. I bring what I have. We make a decision what to do with this money. So the first month, I brought my salary. I'm like, oh, this is what I've been paid at work. Like the whole amount, I brought it in the table. I was surprised to hear him say, oh, that is good. Now he's the one planning for my money. I'm bringing it to the table. We both plan for it, but you feel you have much say on my salary. So it's like, oh, we're paying the rent with this. We do shopping. We do this, we do this. At the end of the day, like I wasn't even left with 5,000 or some amount of money. They can say I can cater for some chamas I was in. I can at least buy, I'm a woman to buy something for myself. Then I'm like, I calculated the salary and nothing was left. So I'm like, okay, babe, well, where is your cash? We also budget for it. Like, no, me, I don't have a cash. I'm like, in the ministry the other time, I saw you were paid 28,000. So what happened with the money? Oh, I helped my mom. I did this, I did that. I'm like, so here is the end of the month. You know the house that you're living in, it's a rental house. So we had talked, you're the one to cater for this. For food, I will do shopping at the end of the month. But now, water, this and that, that's your business. You know? Then he's like, oh, I help this person with my money. I'm like, don't you realize you have a family? Right now, the first thing is supposed to be clicking in your mind, every shilling you get, is to invest here. This is your family. I'm like, what if we have kids? Then there is no Pampers, what will happen? You know? They go, babe, I'm going to be very careful with my money next time. I'm like, please do. Yeah, sorry, babe, budgeted for my money and everything. So this time, Manu, he comes home and I'm like, no, let me check the balance of this guy. Oh, I checked the balance. He had 22,000. Then I'm like, oh, at least you don't have shopping in this house. You don't have something, so we'll cater for them. He's like, oh, no, at the point I didn't tell him. So he had 22,000 when I'm leaving to work. When I come in at evening, the guy has 900. He got 900. In the morning before I left, he had 22,000. Coming back in the evening, checking the balance, he got 900. The transactions, I cannot see any transactions. Yeah, so I asked him, what's happening? I'm like, could you mind giving me some money? I didn't just come straight to tell him I've looked at your balance. Like, my AI, it's not okay. I need to make my nails. I need to buy some clothes. Could you please help me with some money? It's like, I don't have any money. I'm like, what are you saying? Okay, then, could you do shopping? He's like, babe, after all, I don't have any money. I'm like, I saw you 22,000 in the morning at 8 when I was leaving to work. Right now, at 6, I'm checking your balance. It's 9,000. So he wanted to bring an issue. I look at my balance. I'm like, come on, that is our money. It's not your money. Because the moment I have money, it's ours. But yours, you want just to keep it for yourself. I'm like, please now give me the accountability of where you use the money. The same case. Oh, I helped my friend. I helped to. I'm like, are you even being serious? So your money is for helping people. And every shilling I get, no matter how it could be, Manu, if it could be those chamas, I could come home. I'm like, we need a new seat. We need a new, we need a new carpet. That's how we could budget my money. But now it became a thing until a point I'm like, no, this is too much. So we sat down, we talked about it. I'm like, we are writing the responsibility, what to cater for and what myself to cater for. So we wrote it from the beginning. Said, I will cater for the house, to pay food, to this. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. And my money will cater for doing what? For maybe buying food, doing some shopping and paying the chamas I was in and everything. And we need some new seats, we need this and that. Like, oh, that's okay. And guess what? Yeah, here he is, another end month. I'm waiting for him to pay the house, nothing. It's remember it was date 7. This was the first time in my life, Manu, a caretaker knocked my door asking for money.
Did he know about this?
Oh, he knew.
And then you guys never talked about it. You just found the caretaker on your door.
Yeah, no, he told me I'd catered for it.
Ah.
Yes.
So he lied.
Yeah, he lied.
That he paid rent.
Yes, I'm like, did you get? Oh, yes, I did. After like date 7 we did. Yeah, date 7. The guy comes and knock at my door. I'm like, hi. I thought maybe he's giving me some news or something. He's telling you guys you haven't paid rent. I'm like, my guy taking care of that. Proudly. He's like, no, I haven't seen any shilling. When I come here, I call him. I'm like, the caretaker was that the day I thought you said you have taken care of the rent. He's like, oh, I'm working on it. I'm like, that's not what you told me. It's not about working on it or not working on it. You gave me a word you have already paid. Then I'm like, for me, Manu, that was a very big shame. Here I am opening the door. Actually, this is the first time in my life I've ever been knocked at the door. And then opening the lot of pride. Oh, my husband catered for it. And you're telling me you're working on it. What are you working on? Because the last time we talked, you told me you've catered for it. Like, oh, there is some money I was waiting for. Like, but it was too hard for you to say that. Why say you have catered for something and you haven't? So he comes home and gives me 6,000. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this 6,000? What is it for? Like, for paying the rent. I'm like, you just call the guy. You guys, you had the agreement. You pay him, talk to him. and you will let him know, but please take care of things. Then he's like, babe, so you had some money, you just pay for it. And being whoever I am, yeah, I gave out the money, you went and paid for the rent. So yeah, we come within now the story I'm giving is for the second month in marriage.
Second month?
No, the second month in marriage. So this time he goes for ministry in Meru. He come back and I had an habit of looking at his phone because I'm like, why tell me to get off everything? And yet you are doing nothing. So he come at home, I looked at his M-Pesa balance, he had 18,000. So, case of the money again, he comes home, he hide his phone. Like, how do you feel you have to hide your phone? So I brought it up, he's like, you're talking about this too much. I'm like, yes, I'm talking about this because it's the habit you brought. Why? This is your home. You see, my phone is always everywhere. You can access it everywhere. Why couldn't you put your phone that way? Like, oh, so you went through my phone. I'm like, okay, is this the first time? This is not the first time. It's like, even when I touch your phone, I'm like, Joseph, is not about touching the phone or not touching the phone. The question is, why do you feel you have to hide your phone? It's like, oh, I will never not do it again. It's an habit. I'm like, God, it's an habit. So you also need an habit. You have to have a reason why you have to hide your phone. So me, I checked the balance. I looked, this one is there. I checked the balance. I'm like, I saw you have 18,000. But now I see you have 9,000. Is the money going? And this time, we were married. I don't know, also me, I don't know, it's naivety or how to call it. This time I'm just also went through his phone. I saw a certain app. Yeah, a certain app. Myself, as in, I don't know the app.
It's something you've never seen.
It's something I've never seen. And I'm like, maybe the games zake or music zake. You know. Like, I could not have suspected anything. At time, I noted I could look at his phone. Okay, my mind wasn't so much concentrated or if the app is there or if not. So I could just go through it. Guess what? Another time I've gone to my friend's place the moment that the process of divorce and everything. When we just separated, my phone also has the same app.
What?
So I'm like, what is this? Tell me, I saw this somewhere. Oh my God. She tells me it's at a dating app. I know, a dating app. I'm like, Kai.
He has a dating app?
Yeah, he had a dating app when we were married and I had no idea about it.
You never bothered to open that app?
I never.
Even you guys when you were looking at his phone? Exactly.
Me, I thought it's music because he has the apps of music all over his phone. So I was just going through. Right now that we got separated is when I went to a friend's place. When he was showing me a picture, then I went back. I'm like, baby, what app is this? I saw it in Joseph's phone. She started laughing. It's like, it's a dating app. Is when I'm like, my God. So all along, my ex-husband has a dating app and we were together. I could not have any idea. So myself, I was like, okay, what's not happening? There was a friend of mine gave me a story when we were married. My Joseph now, my ex-husband, told his fiancée, me and the lady we were close. We were much of best friends. So she told me, there was a time I told her, we were talking and she's like, why do you have to take care of everything at home? I'm like, my guy is working on it. Yeah, he's working on himself, so I support where I can. Then the lady tells me, there is something Jose told my fiance, and it's bothering me. I'm like, what is it? It's like, me, I don't want to say. I'm like, you say it. So I wanted to say it from the beginning. You just say it. She tells me, Jose told the guy that he has a problem when it comes to money. Every single shilling he gets, the first thing he think of is going to a dating app. Look for ladies, he sleeps with them, he pays them. Now let me tell you something.
Wait.
Yeah.
What are you saying? This is his confession to a friend.
Yes, that is his confession to a friend.
Why couldn't he tell you that?
He could not have told me that. But let me tell you, I was so naive, as in these signs were everywhere. The guy is not coming the money. Okay, where else is the money going? There is a point he told me he has sent another friend of his 7,000. And it was a lady. So for me, like, that was the exact point I could have asked.
For what? Where?
Appreciating the lady for the good time they had. As in, these signs were everywhere. They were everywhere. So when the lady told me, it's like, I wasn't actually surprised.
Dating app?
Yeah, dating app. A dating app that I saw it when we were in marriage in his phone. But I tell you, if you're not exposed, it's a very dangerous thing. If he could be exposed on this thing.
The thing here is, what you mean is that you don't have to ignore anything.
No matter how small it is.
You have to like look it, because this depends on your life.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. There was a point we went, another lady was his friend, and then he was like, Emma, you know, it's not a good to touch a man's phone. Like, he touches my phone. You know, the statement is, and people always use it until today, eti wacha simu ya mwanaume kwa ya mwanaume, usiguze. So I die, I don't touch it, I die. Because if you go outside there, you cheat, what are you bringing to the deceased back? It will come back to me. The lady told me, I'm like, I'm not doing that. Because this phone is what is telling me who you are. Is what is telling me the type of man I'm married to. Then she's like, you know, hey, that's how men are. No, men are not that way. She was kind of categorizing all men to cover him. I'm like, no, not all men are this way. I'm not saying there is no men like Jose out there, but still we had good men. I've seen good men out here. But now when you categorize everyone, no. So we went at home. At the point, I think I told you, I never know the app. After I've gotten out of marriage is when I'm like, I saw this app somewhere. So, yeah, he is coming home, not seeing any money. So, this time comes, and I think I was telling you about the business. So he comes home. I'm like, about the business, you have to open it. What happened? Like, I'm working on it. So he calls the guy. He asks the guy, those items, I will come for them tomorrow.
When you're there?
Yeah, when I was there. Very convincing. Guess what? I tell him, give me the phone. I talk to the guy. He doesn't want to give me. Give me the phone. He doesn't want to give me. I'm like, imagine, give me the phone. At the end of the day, the money is mine. I'm the one who was invested here. So it gives me a lot of attitude. So I pick the call. I'm like, hi, are those things? We'll be coming for them tomorrow. The guy's like, which things? What are you talking about?
Oh boy.
I'm like, the items that my husband bought. That you've been saying you'll bring. Is like, no, your husband gave me 1,500. So I'm like, I gave you some money, we open up a business, and all you gave out is 1,500. Why did you take the rest of the money? I say, babe, you know, we use this money at home. I'm like, where? Because the last time I checked, I'm the one who caters for these things. And let's assume you did it. That wasn't the money to cater for anything at home. Joseph, where did you take the money? Like, babe, you know, imagine I know nothing. So it's when I came to know every single thing this guy could get, he gets to the dating app. Yeah, that's why he used the money. So every time could be like we had fights over when it comes to money. I've given you the money, we open up a business, and yet you're telling me you have no idea you use the money, and you use the money at home. So it became a fight. At the end of the day, I'm like, no. Sometimes I could be paid, man. No, I come home and I could do shopping. The house, I'm like, no. Kama ni kufungwa pia wacha ifungwe. If it comes to that point, let it just do it, because I came to know this guy, not because he doesn't have cash. He has money. When he goes to ministry, can stay. Actually, within a month, if I could do the calculation, where he's getting money from this ministry, he's being paid, that money is much of what I'm getting in the salary. Another time, I sat down with him, we made a calculation. I'm like, when I checked, you have more than 20,000 in my salary. The extra what you've gotten. So, but we cannot see your money. This time I went to work. When I came back, I did some shopping. I sent my dad some money. I went. He never used to give me a road. No, I go to make my end meals. Where? That guy gave me twice in marriage, and I can remember it. And not because he wanted to give it, because I forced him to.
Because it was like, where's the money?
Exactly. So
it
here,
voluntary.
So Manu, here we are. Just like, no, I'm not going to cater for anything. I took the money. I'd opened a personal account. Yeah. I put my month there. So he came with like, babe, we haven't paid rent. Like, no, I haven't paid, but is that not your responsibility? He's like, oh, I'm working on it. Here we are, date 10. Ask for the rent. And who is he looking for? Emma. Date 18. Babe, can't you do anything? I'm like, no, I can't do anything. All the money I had also plans. I paid chama. At the time I had 3 chamas. I paid for the chamas. I've sent some money at home. I've done the shopping. I've given my time, as in I've used my money here and here and here. So when it comes the calculations, it's like, okay, here we are, date 25. The guy comes and knock at the door. So I'm like, please, when it comes to rent, deal with my husband. Don't be dealing with me. Then I'm like, bro, tunafungiwa nyumba. It's like, he came in the evening and then is when I'm telling him, come back. I'm like, do you know this is a shame? Like, where do you take your money? You could have paid even if it's too rare. I'm sure the money you get, you can pay even for 2 months or 3 months. And that's all. It's like, I'm working on it. I'm like, imagine this round. Then he asking me to borrow my sister's money. When you're getting it. And ask for your sister tutamrudisha. I'm like, oh, Jose ya aibu ndio sifanyi. Hiyo ni aibu. Like, how do you tell me or my husband, I go to ask for sister money. The other time I was sick, you asked me to ask my dad to pay the bill. But right now, you ask me to do what?
Sister.
Yeah. I'm like, imagine I'm not doing that. You just know kuongewa nyumba. We have to look for a place to stay. And you're the one to provide because I'm going nowhere. So wherever you're going to sleep, that's where we are going to sleep. He got mad. Like, totally mad and furious. Like, I will work on it. I'm like, yes, please work on it. Because you just know I'm going nowhere. Wherever you go, we go. So he went and made some calls to a friend. He borrowed some money. In the morning, he had the money. He paid. He's like, nimelipa. I'm like, okay, thank you. But today is day 25. You know, month inaisha, meaning date 5, you have to have paid the money. But guess what he's telling me? So you are working, so you pay. I'm like, I've been paying. This house, before when you get into it, I had paid. I paid for it, but this is not the deal. Because it seems actually, for me, you are taking and taking and taking and taking. But whatever your money, you are taking it, I have no idea. You're getting it, Mamo. Date 5 here we are having issues again. This time we have gone to have a coffee. Here we are, Manu, having a coffee. He's like, babe, pay. I'm like, so you have money? Like, no, you pay me, I don't have money. So I took it fun. I wanted to pay with this phone. So the cashier was there, so he couldn't misbehave. So when I checked, I saw the balance. You know, you can, when you are checking, you can see this guy, he has been sent 3,000. This guy, the other time, then I'm like, who is this? And he's sending money. When I checked the transactions, you cannot imagine who was sending the money. There was this lady, when we were dating, we went for a worship experience. If you ever seen someone, he comes, he greets your fiance, naona kuangalia tu na juu. So for me, I asked Jose, why does she has to look at me juu na chini, kwa nini nimemfanya? Like, even I don't know the lady, I've never met her. It's like, how yanakwanga na attitude hivyo. So I never like focused. You see the way you can feel bad. Why do this to my fiance? He didn't. Another date came. This lady, we are doing just for the worship experience. So he comes and greets my guy and he leaves me. So for me, I was like, why do that? Why greet one person? Then is when she's smiling, faking the smile. Hey, Sasa. Like, Nikopo, but that is not a good habit. If you feel like greeting someone, greet both of us. Are we not together? Like, okay. So later on, I came to ask him, there is this day I posted something in Facebook. There is a way this lady commented. Have you ever seen someone is commenting with a lot of anger and bitterness? Then I asked, is this not your friend? Why is she commenting this way? Like, oh, you know, she wanted me. What? I'm like, no. Are you sure she wanted you, or are you sure you guys you weren't together or something? Because she has a lot. Oh, I see him like my small sister, this and this. So here it comes in marriage. Guess what? The lady, she's sending some money. 2,500 tomorrow. The other time 3,000. This and this. So my question was, why does she has to send you money? It is not making sense. It's like, oh, she just appreciate me. I'm like, for what? Have you gone to his house and ministered? Have you gone to her house and ministered for her? Because that is the only thing that can make sense to me.
Minister, literally.
Yeah. Because when you go to minister somewhere is when I know there is a cash flow or something. But here, why does she has to send you? I don't know, she's appreciating you. She's appreciating you for what? She has to appreciate you for something. Then he's like, oh, babe, you know, with you. I'm like, exactly, I'm overthinking, but this is not overthinking. This is not the first time we had an issue with this lady. Do you remember very well when she was sizing me? You know how she experienced, oh, she's that. And you told me she's that way. But here you are entertaining her. Why do that? So it became an issue. I just paid. And I'm like, oh, let's just go home. He left home. So at home, I'm asking him, what's really happened? I don't know, you know, we are buddies. I'm like, okay, come on. Myself, I have buddies. But do you see them sending me money the way she's sending me? Meaning, there is a particular thing she's getting from you for her to appreciate you. So are you guys sleeping together or something? Because that way it can explain it. Or you tell me, if she sings, you could have told me, you went somewhere, you ministered, and she was given the money she didn't give you. Or there is a business you guys are doing together, but there is no business whatsoever you're doing together. So you tell me it's ministry, it's not making sense. So she's like, oh, I will cut communication. I'll do this. I'm like, do you have to be told these things? Actually, you are the man, you are older than me. With more than 7 years. So you're supposed to be telling me, you're the one now to teach me. You're my husband, you're supposed to be my teacher. You're supposed to be my head. I'm supposed to be just your wife, submitting and supporting you. But in this time, things are happening vice versa. And let me even surprise you. When you got married, in our wedding day, you know, everyone is posting TikTok, everyone, me, I'm posting. Then I realized this guy is not posting anything. Yeah, the first week, the second week. I'm like, okay, let me give him another week. Maybe that's how he is. Posting nothing. So I'm like, what's happening? Why are you not posting? Are you not excited? Oh, I'm very excited. I just post my things in my own time. Oh no, it's your wedding day, which you never even give up a shilling. Not even a shilling you never give out. But here, your friends, my friend, my family, even your mom is posting it and you cannot even post it. So I'm like, no, this is too much. So when I addressed it, it's like, oh, I don't know, I'm built that way. I post after. And they were telling me, it's your wedding, bro. This was your wedding. Guess what? He wakes up in the morning, CG does what, then he posts. But my heart wasn't at peace with this post. He posts. Not because he wanted to post it, because I addressed it in a negative way. That's why he posts. So I'm like, no. So I checked my phone. I'm like, oh, he has posted, but still, no. Why refuse to post? Not even refusing. This is not something you're supposed to be told. This is something that just comes from inside.
Facebook.
Yeah.
He posted on Facebook.
Yeah, if first was posted in WhatsApp.
Status.
Yeah, status.
So are you sure you're the one everybody was seeing?
No. Now that's the thing. Me, I went. And like, hey, I love this. I went to, the people have been muted.
You went to, the people have been muted in WhatsApp.
He had muted 7 ladies. And one including was saved, how are they called? One, there were ladies. Then one was saved caretaker.
My goodness.
The other one, sijui fundi. The other one, sijui what. So I decided,
is this real?
This is real. I decided to look at the profile. All ladies, even the caretaker, sijui fundi, sijui what. So my question is, why do you feel you have to mute these ones? Meaning that the ones you don't want them to see if you are what?
Married.
If you're married. Like, no, it's not that. I'm like, please explain to me better, because you must have a good explanation. Or you have to be, I had muted them even before. I'm like, come on.
This is just WhatsApp.
Come on. This is just WhatsApp. Guess what? I don't know, to please me. He was going to post in Facebook. What? And then he's like, I posted, like, do I have to feel so much happy because you're posted? Because that is something you're supposed to be doing. But myself, I have an issue with these guys. Why mute them? Hata caretaker amefanya nini amutiwe? It's not making sense. What is it that you're adding until to caretaker, until fundi? What do you feel? You really have to do that. So we talked about it. He's like, oh babe, it was just a bad habit. I'm changing this and that, as always. And guess what? Yeah, he started crying like always.
What?
Please. I think you saw in the wedding, he was crying all along. My ex-husband was the type of a person, when I was very mad and addressing the whole thing, the only thing he could do is talk about it, then start crying. So you are just in marriage. I'm like, why are you crying? I'm like, come on, I feel.
Okay, he would cry or act, because there's a difference between a real crying. You know how a man can cry? It looks ugly. And then there's a difference between acting so that he can escape whatever subject it is. And there's also crying that tears are coming out. So which one?
It was acting. That is not crying. As in, every time we could have an argument. Actually, this started when we went to the best couple. About leave alone this lady of sending her money, the pastor. So we went there and then we were addressing it, because it reached a point I could not understand what is happening. Then the nigga is crying. So he started crying. Then I'm like, you guys, you might think I'm the one in the wrong side. Because personally, I'm not crying. He is busy crying. Until now, the best couple, they started feeling bad for him. I'm like, no, this is not the reason we came here. No, tell me you feel bad for him. He exactly knew what he has done. He exactly knew his mistake, but he's here faking cries as in to just get away with everything like always. So for me, before I came to know this is faking, even now, wedding day, he really cried. He cried, and everyone, oh, Emma, a good man. He saw me, then he started crying. Later on in marriages, when I'm like, why did you have to cry in our wedding? Because I feel you are crying for me because the way you're going to make me suffer. You know? At the point, I'm like, so that's the reason you're crying in our wedding day. So here we are.